So this isn't an iPhone 13 mini review, but I do have one in my hand. And today I'm going to give you my full, live, unfiltered reaction to this phone. Hello and welcome back to Ellis Reviews, and thank you for subscribing if you have, and if you haven't subscribed, the button is just down there. So today is Friday the 24th of September and people throughout the world are taking delivery of their brand new shiny iPhone 13s. I'm one of those people. I don't get review units early. I have to buy this stuff myself. Poor me. However, I did have a slightly different plan for this video, which was going to be a unboxing and first reactions thing for the iPhone 13 mini, and also at the same time an unboxing and first reaction of the iPad mini. However, and if you know me on my Discord server, hi Discord server by the way, you'll know that I have had a dreadful time with Apple deliveries over the last 18 months. Whether or not it's to do with what's happened over the last 18 months, which is no one's fault obviously, I don't know what it is, but for some reason Apple deliveries never arrive on time. This iPhone 13 mini is the only thing that has arrived on time in the last 18 months directly from Apple. Everything else has been either a few days or a few weeks late. Now weirdly, the iPad mini that I had ordered and was all due to be delivered today, all of the notifications said today is going to happen. Last minute, yesterday, no, it changed to Monday. So I'm a little bit annoyed, but it's one of those things, what can you do? I've got this, I can't complain. I have a brand new iPhone 13 mini here, and what I will do when, fingers crossed, touch wood, the iPad mini arrives on Monday, I will do the exact same thing on Monday as well. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, click the bell and you'll get a little notification when that video goes live. But why the iPhone 13 mini, you might be asking? Because I am an iPhone 12 Pro guy, and historically, I've always had larger screened iPhones. But last year, I very nearly didn't buy this. I very nearly went for the iPhone 12 mini, but I bottled it, to be honest, and went for the regular 12 Pro. I regretted it a little bit because as great as this phone is, I just don't get that excited about it. I talked about this recently. It's a brilliant phone, but I use probably 5% of its capabilities. And there's something about what's in this box that gets me quite excited. The idea of this small, really properly handheld device that will fit in any trouser pocket, that you can go out for with a run and it not kind of get in the way and just be too big, and you don't have to do kind of hand gymnastics to use it. There's something about that really draws me to this phone. Now I've got some interesting plans with this phone and the iPad mini, which I'll explain at the end of this video, and also it's got a bit of a task ahead of it this weekend, which again I'll explain later. Let's unbox. Right, I don't do many unboxing videos as you know, but when in Rome or Leamington. So I am genuinely excited about using this phone. It's something which, as I say, just this idea of having this smaller phone is quite exciting. And wow, is the box small. Really small actually, you can see that there. Tiny, tiny box. Now, when I chose the colour of this phone, I went for the Starlight colour because I didn't know what else to go for really. I wasn't bothered about the purple and the pink and whatever the other one. I think there's a red one, isn't there? Some interesting colours, but yeah, none of them really kind of grabbed my attention. And I like white phones. I miss having a white phone. So this one looked white as far as I was concerned. Apparently it's a mix between white and gold. There's a little bit of gold in there, so we'll see what that looks like. I really can't get over the size of this box. It feels really small already. Two things I'm worried about before I open this box. Don't worry, I'll do it in a minute. Two things I'm worried about with this phone. One of them is the size of the screen. It's considerably smaller to what I'm used to. Second one is the battery life, which the iPhone 12 mini battery life wasn't great at all. So two things that bother me, and we'll see how if they still bother me after I've been using it for a while. Ooh, oh wow. I tell you what, I'm really pleased I went for the Starlight colour. It looks white, actually. Okay, let's get it out. I'll show you how white it looks. There we go. That's a white iPhone, isn't it? That's white. I don't want to keep going on about this, but it's just white. I guess the fleck of gold, if you can call it that, is probably on the band around here. I'll do some B-roll of this so you can see it, but the back of it is just white. It's beautiful, it's lovely. Camera bump, let me just compare it to the iPhone 12. So that is the iPhone 12 Pro camera bump, and that is the mini, the 13 mini's camera bump. And I've seen a few reviews kind of reveal just how different they are. Well, the lenses are bigger anyway. Enough about the iPhone 12 Pro though. Let's take this off. There we go. So there it is, guys. The iPhone 13 mini in Starlight, which really is just white. It's a white iPhone. And I'm absolutely delighted with that colour. I think I've made a pretty awesome choice there. Now, first impressions in terms of the size of this thing. It's small. It's a lot smaller than my 12 Pro, but it's not stupidly small, actually. I don't know why. I was thinking it would be smaller than this, but it already feels very, very nice in the hand. It feels like a good sized phone. There aren't any kind of hand gymnastics to get to where you want to be. It's just very, oh, lovely. Yeah, that alone is quite a nice thing. I became very bored of moving my hand around, and yeah, that was never much fun. Now, in terms of the design, unless you're coming from a much older iPhone, or perhaps the iPhone SE, for example, this just looks like a iPhone 12, really. It's pretty much the same design, flat edges, just a nice slab of aluminium. Nothing to get too much excited about. iPhones always look very premium. If you compare them with other smartphones, I know there are other premium smartphones out there in terms of Android, etc. But there's something about iPhones that just makes them very nice bits of kit. First impressions, having come from the regular sized iPhone 12 Pro, is that the iPhone 13 mini isn't too small immediately. I've not turned it on yet, so I've not started using it yet. Excuse my charging noise. I've not started using it yet, so that may change when I actually start using the thing itself, but I'm very, very pleased I went with this size. Really pleased. And I'm really pleased, I don't want to keep going on about this, but the colour is lovely. It is just a white phone. I love white phones. I love white tech. I don't really know where they're getting this Starlight thing from. I'm not much of a colour design type person, so if you understand this better than I do, in the comments, let me know. Rob on the 8 or 16 podcast, link in the description, by the way, he mentioned on this week's episode, which is hitting the airwaves tomorrow, that it's a bit of almost like a 70s, kind of throwback 70s type vibe that this colour gives, and I don't really get that either, to be honest, but again, he hasn't seen it in person. I think he'd probably say the same thing. It's just white. So in terms of what I have planned for this phone, so as I mentioned at the start of this video, this was going to be a different video. I was going to unbox this and then unbox the iPad mini. Now, the reason the iPad mini is very important in this equation is because that is going to become my kind of daily content consumption device. So up until now, I do most normal kind of web browsing and stuff when I'm sat on the sofa on this. I don't use an iPad for that. I just tend to use my iPhone 12 Pro. But my concern with the iPhone 13 mini is that it would be too small to do that. Now, having said that, having got it in my hands now, I'm not quite as convinced that's going to be the case, but my idea with getting the iPad mini, in addition to this, is that the iPad mini would become my content consumption thing that I would watch YouTube videos on, do casual web browsing and all that sort of stuff. So that's coming on Monday. I'll see how that double mini lifestyle thing works over a period of time. This has changed my mind slightly because I'm pleasantly surprised by the size of this thing. So this isn't a review, but it is worth mentioning the specs for this because I think Apple have been very smart and actually quite generous this year in terms of what they've done. So obviously this has the A15 Bionic chip in it, very, very fast. We know that, fantastic. But they've included lots of stuff that you normally had to spend more to get. So, and the obvious example of that really is the camera system in this, which is superb. So on the back you get the standard lens, but then you also get a brand new ultra wide lens, and that has sensor shift on it, which was something that originally I think you could only get on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And it's basically a form of stabilization that keeps the sensor nice and steady if you're in a low light condition, or you're, I don't know, maybe you're drunk, or you're just a little bit unsteady on your feet, and it just makes sure the photo is as sharp as possible. And you will see that the effects of that most comprehensively in low light photography. It's got the new cinematic mode. I'll be testing that out. That's the rack focus thing, which looks like this. So you focus on your hand, and it focuses on my face. The iPhones are now capable of doing that. And the front-facing camera, I'd forgotten this until I was looking at the specs just before filming this. The front-facing camera is pretty much as capable as the rear-facing cameras. It's got cinematic mode. It's got all the cool stuff built into the front selfie camera, so that's really cool. The display goes up to 800 nits, which is very bright, and it's their XDR display technology. So you're getting a very, very capable iPhone. This is the cheapest iPhone 13 you can get. And it comes with 128 gigabyte storage as standard. And that's the one that I went for. I went for the base level, cheapest one you could buy. This has 128 gig of storage in it, which is fantastic. I wish they did that with the iPad mini. Apple, I don't know why you only put 64 gig in the base level iPad mini. Makes zero sense. But anyway, and battery life, the other thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, has apparently been improved by up to 1.5 hours. So That's going to be very interesting. And that brings me on to what's happening this weekend. So this is just timing. I didn't time this purposefully. It's just the way things worked out. This weekend, and in fact tomorrow night, I'm doing a night hike up Snowdon, which is a mountain in North Wales, in Snowdonia. And I'm going to take this phone with me. And it's a full on 2 days, get in the car, go there, no access to power. It's just, it's in the wilderness, all that sort of stuff. So obviously I will be taking power banks with me, but I'm going to see how long this battery fares over that period. It's just going to be one of the biggest tests for it. So I'm going to test the battery during that hike, but I'm also going to do some photography and get some nice night shots and stuff like that, and just see how it performs from that perspective. But yeah, I could not have timed this better in terms of, giving it a proper workout during what is basically a 2-day period away from any power outlets and literally climbing up a mountain. So we'll see how it fares. I haven't got a case for it. That could be interesting. Wish me luck with that. Now I've just realized I didn't look in the rest of the box. I'm not very good at unboxings. So we'll have a quick delve into the box if you're really interested in that. Now obviously you get the lightning cable, which obviously has the USB-C at one end. That's the other thing, you still have lightning on these things, which Apple are never going to put USB-C on the iPhone, ever. The only thing that's going to happen next is they're going to get rid of that completely and we'll just switch to magnetic charging. But anyway, what else have we got? The little thing here, so little Apple stickers. Do you do anything with these? I don't stick them anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't find anything to do with them, really. Let me know. What do you do with your Apple stickers? I've got thousands of them and I do nothing with them. Oh, the SIM card tray opener. Exciting. And that's it, because as you know very well these days, we don't get a charger, or a charging brick rather, in the iPhone boxes anymore, which is why they're so small. And you can see here, it's tiny. Tiny little box. There you go. So there's a very terrible unboxing experience. You'll get better elsewhere if you want to go and see a proper unboxing. And yeah, they are my initial thoughts on the iPhone 13 mini. The size, I'm not too worried about. We'll see how that fares. Battery life, we'll find out this weekend. Camera quality, again, we'll find out. And I will return in a few weeks with an updated buyer's guide / review for this phone. Now, if you've still got some time, keep watching for a link to my full reaction video to the California streaming event, where I talk a bit more about the new iPhone, the iPad mini, the Apple Watch, and everything else that happened during that event. But in the meantime, thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you next time.